is not food you are eating. Snake! Please stop eating that. Evil woman, you will not get me with your food. Everybody, stop eating this food. You are eating your destiny.
My people, listen well. This matter no be ordinary. Mama Opue, the Snake Woman of Amanato, Part 1. In the quiet village of Amanato, everyone knew Mama Opue. By day, she was a calm, humble woman with soft steps and a gentle voice. She sold fruits in the morning, orange, papaya, watermelon, her stall always smelling fresh and sweet. And beside her stall, a big iron pot sat on a charcoal stand, bubbling with the jollof rice that made her famous. People said her food had a taste that stayed on your tongue even after hours. Some said it tasted like magic. Some said it tasted too good to be normal. But nobody truly knew the woman they were dealing with. Mama Opue had a daughter, Opue, a dark-skinned beauty with bright eyes and a smile that made men forget themselves. Whenever she walked past the village square, young men lost their words, old men cleared their throats, even married men pretended not to look, but they still looked. Opue didn't talk much. She didn't laugh loudly. She moved like someone trained to be quiet or someone hiding something. But the real mystery was her mother. Because at night, Mama Opue knew be human. When the moon rose above the palm trees, her skin shimmered, her bones bent, her legs melted together, and before midnight, a huge python slid out of her compound, scales shining like wet stone, eyes glowing like fireflies. The villagers never knew. Every morning, she returned to human form, tying her wrapper, washing her pots, and serving food with a smile that made people feel safe. They didn't know the jollof they ate had another face, a spiritual face. Physically, it was rice, pepper, fresh meat, but spiritually, the pot carried the essence of the creature she became at night. Whoever ate the food felt fine at first, but afterwards, things changed. Some people complained that their shops suddenly stopped selling. Some workers were chased from their jobs for reasons they couldn't explain. Husbands and wives began shouting over small things. Homes broke apart. Some people fell sick without any cause. And the worst part, no matter how much trouble they faced, they still craved Mama Opue's jollof and rushed back for more. But there was one person who saw everything clearly, the mad woman of Amanato. Her clothes were torn, her hair scattered, and people hardly listened to when she spoke. But when she passed Mama Opue's stall the first time, she froze. Her eyes widened. Her body shook. She pointed at the pot and screamed, "Stop! This thing is not food! This thing is not what you think!" People burst into laughter. "Mad woman, leave us. Go and rest. She don't start." But she didn't move. She kept shouting, warning the villagers that the pot carried a spirit they couldn't see. The second time she came, she screamed louder. She stood in front of the stall, waving her hand, shouting to everyone eating, "Drop that plate! This is not food you are eating!" People threw stones at her. Children mocked her. Someone even pushed her away. But she wasn't wrong. On the third day, she returned again. She didn't care about insults. She didn't care that people were laughing. She stood at the center of the crowd and shouted with all her strength, "You people should stop eating. Your lives will not remain the same. You are not eating food." But Mama Opue didn't shout back. She She didn't raise her voice. She simply smiled, a strange smile that didn't reach her eyes. That night, when the village became quiet and lanterns went off one by one, Mama Ope's skin began to glow again. Her body bent and twisted gently, like someone stretching after sleep. Moments later, the huge python slid out of her compound and glided silently across the ground. No footsteps, no sound, just movement. Slow, dangerous, patient. The mad woman slept in an abandoned hut near the old palm tree. The python found her easily. It didn't attack loudly. It moved like a shadow. And by morning, the villagers discovered she wasn't moving. Nobody suspected anything. They simply whispered, maybe her time reached. Poor woman, she was always troubled. Mama Opue returned to human form before the first cock crowed. She washed her face. She tied her wrapper. She lit her charcoal fire and began cooking again. By sunrise, people gathered at her stall. Young men, old women, market traders, passers-by. They came with plates, spoons, bowls. The smell of her food pulled them like a magnet. Nobody remembered the mad woman's warnings. Opue stood beside her mother, beautiful as always, smiling softly. Whenever her eyes met the men who came to buy food, they swallowed hard. Some forgot their change. Some forgot their wives waiting at home. And Mama Opue looked at them all with calm eyes that hid a truth too dark for anyone to imagine. Because in Amanato, anyone who ate her food never remained the same. And this was only the beginning.
You people should stop eating. She's not what you think. You are not eating food. You are eating snake. Please, everyone stop eating.
My people, listen well. This matter no be ordinary. Amanato village thought they had seen everything, but the real story started the day a married man named Chukwudi decided to buy food from Mama Opue for the first time. People have been talking about her food, how it was sweet, delicious, and always hot. Chukwudi had passed her shop many times, but never stopped until today. Mama Opue smiled when she saw him. Her heavy footsteps shook the sand floor as she dished a large portion of jollof rice from her giant iron pot. As she lifted the spoon, something shifted inside the pot, something only the blind would miss. A smooth, silent movement, but to everyone else, it still looked like normal food. Chukwudi paid and hurried home, excited to enjoy it. When he reached home, he dropped the food on the dining table and said, "Let me shower first before I eat." His wife, Impechi, a strong prayer warrior known in the village for midnight prayers, walked into the dining room to clear the table. The moment her eyes landed on the food, she froze. Her heart dropped. Inside the nylon plate, she didn't see jollof rice. She saw coils, scales, and something moving slowly like it was breathing. She screamed, "My husband, come here! What is this?" Chukwudi rushed out with soap still on his body and said, "Darling, what happened?" She pointed at the food, shaking. "Look well. Is this rice?" Chukwudi laughed, thinking she was joking. "Honey, it's jollof rice from that roadside woman people always talk about." Nkechi stepped back, fear gripping her voice. "My husband, you will not eat this. This is not food. Something is inside. Please take me to the place you bought it." Out of confusion, Chukwudi agreed. They got into their car and drove straight to Mama Opue's shop. When they arrived, the shop was busy, people eating happily. Mama Opue stood there with her huge size, tall presence, long black hair tied back, sweat on her forehead from cooking. But Nkechi wasn't seeing a normal woman. The moment she stepped close to the pot, her spirit eyes opened. Inside the pot, she saw a massive python turning slowly, its eyes glowing, pretending to be jollof rice. Nkechi pointed at the pot boldly and shouted, "Madam, who are you? What is your mission in this land?" The whole place went silent. Chukwudi was shocked behind her. People eating dropped their spoons. Mama Opue saw out slowly, lifted her chin and said, "My dear, sometimes it is good to mind your business. Leave here, you're distracting my customers." Nkechi shouted louder, "People of God, stop eating here. This woman is not what you think." Murmuring began. Some stood up confused. Some looked at Nkechi like she was crazy. Chukwudi quickly grabbed his wife before the scene got worse and dragged her to the car. As they drove, Nkechi panted heavily, trying to explain everything she saw spiritually. But Chukwudi didn't understand. He kept saying, "You are only imagining things." That night, after Mama Opue closed her shop, she stormed into her room, angry and breathing heavily. Her daughter Opue, tall, beautiful, light-skinned, with long natural hair, watched her. She knew something had happened. "Mama, what is it again?" Mama Opue hissed, "That prayer woman embarrassed me today." Anger covered her face. As the night deepened, Mama Opue's body changed. Her skin rippled, her bones shifted, her eyes turned red. In seconds, she transformed into a huge python. She slithered out of the window, heading straight to Chukwudi's house to silence the woman who saw her secret. But when she reached the compound, she met a shock. Nkechi was inside praying, midnight prayer, fire prayer. The whole house glowed with a spiritual light that burned like hot coal. The python tried to approach the door, but fire shot out spiritually, blocking her. Mama Opue screamed silently and disappeared into the darkness, angry and defeated. Back home, she returned to human form, panting with rage. Her daughter rushed her. "Mama, what happened?" Mama Opue hissed, "That woman's prayer is too strong. I couldn't enter. Her house is covered with fire." Opue smiled wickedly and said, "Mama, don't worry. I will go. She cannot stop both of us." Mama Opue nodded. Around 2 a.m., Opue transformed, not fully into a python like her mother, but in a half-spirit form, her eyes glowing golden, hair floating without wind. She moved towards the house silently. As she reached the gate, she tried to slip through like smoke. But the moment her foot touched the compound, a loud spiritual thunder struck the ground. She screamed and vanished immediately. She didn't even get close to the door. She returned home, weak and trembling. "Mama, I couldn't enter. There's something protecting that woman. It is too strong." Mama Opue's eyes burned with anger. "So she escaped me and my daughter? Good. Let her enjoy tonight. Tomorrow she will understand who she challenged." That next day, at her shop, Mama Opue forced herself to smile, selling food as if nothing had happened. But deep inside, she was boiling with rage. Her daughter walked past the road that afternoon, beautifully dressed, men admiring her, but her eyes were cold. She was watching everyone, waiting, planning, and the village had no idea that something darker was coming.
She is a python. She's not what you think. In Amanato village, Mama Opue rules the market.
My people, listen well. This matter no be ordinary. Mama Opue, the Snake Woman of Amanato, part 3. The next morning, Mama Opue tied her village wrapper tight around her waist and marched straight to Chukwudi's wife's baby shop that afternoon. The small shop was colorful with baby shoes and clothes everywhere. Chukwudi's wife was arranging baby caps when she looked up and said calmly, "Good afternoon, madam. How may I help you?" Mama Opue stood at the entrance, her wide body blocking the light, her eyes cold. She said, "Madam, I don't know you. I have never looked for your trouble before. Please stay away from my business. My next visit to you, you will not like it." She turned to leave, But Chukwudi's wife said, "Oh, hold on, madam, before you go. I know you visited my home last night." Mama Opue stopped. Her back stiffened. Chukwudi's wife continued, "Next time, try to get extra strength before you visit, because not every home you enter you will go back free. If you try my house again, you will not leave the same way you came." Mama Opue's face changed immediately. She turned slowly and said through her teeth, "We shall see." As she walked away, Chukwudi's wife shouted behind her, "Leave this land. Whatever is your mission will not succeed." The word followed Mama Opue like thunder. She reached home, breathing hard. Opue rushed to her. "Mama, what happened?" Mama Opue paced the room angrily. "That woman blocked me. Her house is covered, but her shop is open. I will enter there tonight." That night, around 2 a.m., inside her dark room, Mama Opue removed her wrapper and bent low. Her skin thickened, her body stretched long, her head widened. In seconds, she transformed into a mighty brown python, her eyes glowing. She disappeared from her room and appeared inside Chukwudi's wife's shop. The baby clothes hanging on the wall moved slightly as the python glided across the floor. She raised her head high and began whispering strange chants. A cold wind filled the shop, clothes shaking gently even though no window was open. When she finished, she tapped the floor with her tail and vanished back home. She returned to human form smiling proudly. The next morning, before going to her food stand, she faced the mirror. Let me see how she will come out again and talk. She wants to spoil a business I have built for years. Opue asked, "Mama, are you sure this will work? We really need to stop her." Mama Opue replied sharply, "Don't you trust your mother? This one is sure." They both laughed. That morning, at the food stand, Mama Opue was too happy. She gave some customers extra food, even free food, because she believed her mission was already working. Meanwhile, Chukwudi's wife was praying at midnight. As she knelt down, a sudden flash sleep carried her. She woke up within seconds with a strong vision of what happened in her shop. She gasped and began to pray heavily. She declared the whole day as fasting and prayer. She didn't go to her shop at all. The next morning, she took anointing oil to her shop. Before opening the door, she prayed and anointed the entrance, the windows, the floor, everywhere. Inside the shop, she prayed again before starting her business. 3 days later, Mama Opue went to that area pretending to be buying something. She expected to see Chukwudi's wife looking weak or sick, but instead, she saw her laughing and talking to customers, strong and healthy. Mama Opue's heart shook. "Something is protecting this woman," she whispered angrily and went home. When she got home, she called Opue. "My daughter, we need plan B. Something is covering this woman. If we don't stop her, she will destroy us." Opue asked, "Mama, what do we do?" Mama Opue held her shoulders. "She has never seen you before, even the husband. Good. Tomorrow you will dress like a very poor girl. Sit at their gate, crying. They will pity you and take you in. You will tell them you don't remember anything. Say you were traveling to Lagos and the vehicle had an accident. Say you woke up on the street and can't remember your name." Opue smiled. "Mama, they will take me in." "Good." Mama Opue said, "Good. Once you enter that house, we will know what to do." The next day, Opue dressed in torn clothes, poured dust on her face, and sat at the gate crying bitterly. When Chukwudi and his wife returned, they saw her shivering. Chukwudi's wife ran to her. "My dear, what happened?" Opue wiped her fake tears. "I don't remember anything. I was traveling to Lagos. The motor, I don't know how I ended up on the street." Chukwudi and his wife looked at each other with pity. "Don't worry. You can stay with us until you recover," the wife said gently. Opue fell on her knees crying, "Thank you, ma. God bless you." They took her inside and gave her a guest room. As the wife was leaving, she asked, "My dear, what is your name?" Opue shook her head. "I don't remember. You can give me any name." The woman smiled. "Okay, I will call you Grace." "Yes, ma, I love the name." Immediately she left the room. Opue brought out the small mirror her mother gave her. She placed it on the table. The mirror glowed and Mama Opue's face appeared inside. "Mama, they have taken me in," Opue whispered. Mama Opue smiled. "Good. Don't do anything yet. When the time comes, I will tell you when to strike." The mirror faded. Opue looked around the room and smiled slowly. The trap had finally entered the house.
You are eating snake, not food. You are eating your destiny. Stop eating. She's not what you think. You people should stop eating this food. You are not eating food. You are eating snake. She's not what you think.
Hey, my people, listen well, oh. This matter not be ordinary. Mama Opue, the Snake Woman of Amanato, Part 4. From the first week in Chukwudi's house, Opue changed completely. She no longer behaved like the confused, lonely girl they picked by the roadside. She now acted like someone who had lived in that house for many years. Every morning she woke up early, sweeping everywhere, washing plates, arranging shoes, and singing small Christian songs so they would trust her more. Very soon, Chukwudi and his wife started calling her our little angel and our hardworking daughter. They were happy with her, but they didn't know they were welcoming their own trouble. Every night before sleeping, Opue will rush to them and say with a sweet voice, "Daddy, Mommy, please let us do a short prayer." At first, he looked innocent, but something strange always happened. The moment they closed their eyes to pray and Opue started speaking in tongues, their bodies became heavy. Their eyes will close on their own. In less than 1 minute, they will fall asleep right there on their knees. But Opue never slept. She will look at them with a secret smile, stand up quietly, tie her scarf, and leave the house while they remained on the floor sleeping like children. Every night, she went straight to her mother's shop. Her mother was always waiting with a pot of red, tasty jollof rice. The woman will push the pot to her and whisper, "Give this to the man in the morning. The more he eats it, the more he enters our hand." Opue will carry the pot home and lie down before Chukwudi and his wife woke up. By morning, they believed she prayed all night. One day, Chukwudi and his wife went out. Before leaving, the woman said, "Opue, please, cook good jollof rice today." Opue smiled and agreed, but immediately they left, she sneaked out to her mother's shop, collected the special jollof rice, and returned before anyone noticed. When Chukwudi came home first, she served him her mother's jollof. When his wife returned, she served her the one she cooked at home. They both ate, smiling, not knowing one plate was normal and the other plate was spiritually controlled. 2 days later, Chukwudi started changing. Very small things began to annoy him. He no longer came home early. He stopped praying with his wife. Sometimes he sat alone staring into space, as if listening to a silent voice. His wife became confused and heartbroken. Her calm, loving husband now acted like a stranger. Whenever she tried to pray, she felt weak. Each time she wanted to do midnight prayer, she slept off instantly and woke up feeling tired. She didn't know Opue was controlling the house at night. Every night, exactly 2 a.m., something frightening happened. The room became calm, the air cold. Opue would slowly rise from her bed, her eyes shining strangely. Then she would quietly transform into a black cat. The cat moved around the house, entering Chukwudi's room, climbing wardrobes, watching them as they slept. Sometimes the cat sat on the window, shaking gently as if communicating with something invisible. Then it will enter the bathroom and jump in front of the mirror. Immediately the mirror changed and her mother's face appeared inside it. Her mother will speak softly, "Continue, don't stop. Very soon this whole house will belong to us." The cat nodded slowly, its eyes glowing. Before 4 a.m., it will return to human form, lie down and pretend to be sleeping like a normal girl. After some days, Chukwudi's wife started noticing strange things. She heard movement around 2 a.m. Her mirror sometimes looked cloudy. She felt like as if someone was watching her. Her prayers no longer lasted because sleep always came immediately. One night she said to herself, something is wrong in this house, but she didn't know the problem was right inside her home, sleeping peacefully and calling her mommy. To be continued.